CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. London's mayor is touting significant progress on a new micro-shelter community, which is weeks away from a scheduled opening. However, as Daryl Newcomb reports, as of today, the property where this project will be built is still a farm field.
The corn has been harvested, but this property on Cheese Factory Road shows no other progress towards becoming a micro-shelter community for homeless Londoners. However, Mayor Josh Morgan says significant progress behind the scenes is keeping the project on track.
Obviously, we want these in place for the winter months, but I'm very pleased with the staff progress, overcoming a number of hurdles so far.
A new report updates council on progress to create a temporary community of 60 micro-shelters. This will be the layout. Small clusters of shelters around a centralized area with larger trailers for showers, laundry, and meals. 60 shelters have been purchased from Faro International at a cost of $1.26 million, and contracts are in place to prepare the land as well as install utilities and lighting. Canadian-based Expera has won the bid to operate the facility. It's a company experienced in temporary housing for communities evacuated from natural disasters.
Their staff are informed and trained in all of the relevant things, trauma-informed response, crisis management, first aid, cultural sensitive training.
Back in October, when council endorsed the mayor's plan, it was hoped that they could have at least a partial opening on this site by the end of this year. But delays delivering the micro-shelters has pushed that back into January.
We can do all of this work very quickly, and so we still have time. But yeah, I think you'll see a site transform from pretty much cornfield to fully integrated site in a short period of time.
As for transportation to and from this relatively remote site, there is actually a London Transat partial bus route that services this area, but the closest bus stop for the time being will be well over this horizon. According to the report, the existing location is within London Transit's recommended distance for bus stops, and installing a new one would add costs as well as require pouring concrete in the winter.
Yes, it will be a cold walk from the transit stop to the location, but when they get there, there will be a warm house, which is not on the street.
In October, council backed a $7 million budget for the micro-shelter project that will operate until April 2027. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
St. Thomas City Councillors have passed the draft budget for 2026, locking in a 6% property tax increase. That's nearly double the raise approved in London. With more on the factors behind the Railway City's figure, here's Brian Bicknell.
Improved roads, new infrastructure, and enhanced emergency services. If you live in St. Thomas, you'll soon have to dig deeper to pay for it all.
The tax rate's going up just hurts the people that are barely trying to get by.
St. Thomas Council has approved the city's 2026 draft budget of nearly $79.5 million, with a municipal tax increase of 6%.
They've done a very good job of keeping minimal tax increases, so an increase of 6% would be quite surprising.
Property taxes for the average home will rise by approximately $192 per year based on municipal property assessments.
We've delivered through 2 terms of council the lowest numbers for miles around and the average this year, because we recognize with the growth we're doing in St. Thomas now, the attracting of great industries will help pay us a lot of bills in the future and employ a lot of people.
They're doing a great job getting everything ready, but I guess we're going to have to pay for it.
I'm a little disappointed that all the industry that is coming into this area, that some of these taxes couldn't be offloaded there.
Mayor Preston says new industries like PowerCo and Bionode will not contribute to the tax base until they begin making products.
More than 2 years away. That's a good distance away when we start producing batteries and collecting taxes from PowerCo, or producing graphite and collecting taxes from Bionode.
The largest item in the operating budget is policing, with a budget of $21.6 million, up more than 22% from $17.6 million this year. Preston says the increase will allow the service to add 5 officers, along with a number of special constables downtown.
Almost all personnel costs, or if you want greater crime fighting and greater policing in that sense, then you need another platoon.
Council is set to review the budget one more time on Monday. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Leaders with various local organizations are voicing concerns over Bill C-9, which would amend the criminal code and how it deals with hate speech.
Bill C-9 undermines key legal protections that have long helped prevent discriminatory or politically motivated prosecutions. Under current law, hate propaganda charges require the consent of a provincial attorney general, a safeguard meant to ensure fairness, consistency, and oversight. Bill C-9 removes this protection. Even though Parliament is now scrambling to reconsider it, the intent is clear: to give police greater unchecked discretion and to lower the threshold for criminalizing speech.
Members of London's Palestinian community say they want the government to withdraw the bill, suggesting it will have negative implications for democratic freedoms, protest rights, and civil liberties. However, officials with Jewish London say they support the bill. In a statement, they say it provides real protection while fully respecting free expression, and they encourage parliamentarians of all parties to work together to deliver a balanced approach that keeps communities safe. 5 people were taken to hospital after a fire broke out at a Western University frat house last night. According to police, emergency crews responded just before midnight to this building at Richmond and Cheapside. The 3-story residence is home to the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity, also known as Pike. Police say the 5 people taken to hospital have varying injuries from minor to serious, and the investigation is in the hands of the Police Patrol Department. Provincial police say they've shut down an unlicensed pot shop in downtown London. This note was posted in front of a dispensary on Dundas. According to OPP, officers executed a search warrant yesterday. Last week, police were investigating a daytime shooting nearby, which sent 1 person to hospital. A warning from firefighters in Norfolk County responding to a recent garage fire. There were no injuries, nor was the damage extensive, but fire experts say when lithium-ion batteries are involved, it can get dangerous quickly. Sean Irvin reports.
An investigator with the Ontario Fire Marshal's office wears a protective mask as they sort through a fire scene in the hamlet of Walsh, about 15 kilometers south of Delhi. It was here shortly after 9:30 Monday evening a fire broke out. It forced 3 people in an upper floor apartment to flee.
Residents who were upstairs at the time were alerted to a loud boom and smoke in their building.
25 firefighters spent 3 hours bringing the blaze at this antique garage shop under control. Damage was limited to the front portion of the building. The investigation might have ended there, but once inside, firefighters made a discovery that led them to call in the Ontario Fire Marshal's office.
So this building, we found a tremendous amount of lithium-ion batteries and assorted accessories that go with them.
And that presented a significant concern.
It's always a hazard for firefighters when these batteries, if they're compromised, could go into thermal runaway, posing health risk and explosion risk for firefighters.
It is important to note that the cause of this fire remains undetermined. But the stockpile of batteries found prompted Norfolk Fire to issue a general advisory about the devices commonly found in most technology products.
Anytime a lithium-ion battery is involved in a fire, that fire can quickly become very large, even if it started very small and had nothing to do with the battery.
Now, the timing of the safety message coincides with the upcoming holiday season and also with an increasing number of lithium battery fires in this region and throughout the province.
Across North America, we're attending a lot more of these fires.
The reality has led to the heightened awareness of all fire departments.
There's been a lot of interest from the Ontario Fire Marshal's office, from fire departments across North America, on how to combat these before we get to the point where we have so many of them that we can't control it.
That said, Norfolk officials underline that lithium-ion batteries are safe when properly used, maintained, and stored. In the hamlet of Walsh, south of Delhi, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
A community fundraising campaign has launched in Huron County. Organizers say they need millions of dollars to bring a much-needed piece of hospital equipment to Goderich. With more on their goal and timeline, here's Scott Miller.
Tonight marks the beginning of something truly transformative for our community.
Kimberly Payne officially kicks off a $6.5 million campaign to bring an MRI machine to the Alexander Marine and General Hospital in Goderich.
We're getting ready to launch the biggest capital campaign that the foundation has ever launched. So it's a big $6.5 million to bring an MRI and that technology to the community of Huron County and beyond, because currently people travel to Owen Sound or to Kitchener, to London, Stratford, Strathroy.
Although the Magnetic Moments campaign just officially launched this week, $960,000 has already been raised towards the project that will see an expansion to the hospital to accommodate the new MRI machine, the first one in Huron County.
They're a special kind of equipment that uses a very powerful magnet to get images. It's not a radiation-based piece of equipment, and it has a niche for imaging. It's really, really good for joints. It is sometimes really useful in pregnancy when we want to avoid radiation. It's excellent for imaging the brain, which is a great help to our telestroke program at Goderich.
The diagnosis for cancer treatments, things like that, will happen much faster, so it means treatment gets to an individual sooner, so better outcomes.
Currently, the wait times for the closest MRI machines to Goderich are 52 days in Owen Sound, 66 days in Stratford, and 360 days in London.
The wait times are very long. London's MRIs, there are a few there, and they're swamped, having a hard time keeping up with the demand. So we're actually probably going to be pulling from more than just our region, but outside the region too.
It's expected to take 2 years to raise the necessary funds to bring an MRI machine to Goderich, but if all goes according to plan, the new piece of equipment will be installed in 2027 and operational sometime in 2028.
People in our area recognize how great this will be to have an MRI in our area and not have to travel as far, or maybe helps eliminate some wait times by having it closer to home.
In Huron County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
The Ontario Education Minister says the province's students are falling short when it comes to standardized testing results, which were released today. With more on the government response, here's Siobhan Morris.
It frustrated me and made me quite upset.
The Minister of Education displeased with the EQAO results he held back for study. He doesn't feel progress in reading, writing, and math is coming fast enough.
Half of grade 6 students and 42% of grade 9 students are not meeting the provincial standard in math.
In response, the government's setting up a 2-person advisory panel to dig into student learning.
The review will look at whether our curriculum and learning resources are clear and easy to use. It will consider how well teachers are being prepared and supported. It will examine whether students have the tools they need to succeed in the classroom.
And look at what kind of testing makes sense. The people doing that work will be named in the new year. Their pay, $1,500 a day.
I think you should be focusing on what some say the $1,500 a year that students are being shorted individually in our education system.
The opposition says the changes needed to help kids succeed are no secret.
We need smaller class sizes. We need more teachers. We need more educational assistants, not less.
The president of AWECTA is open to talking, but
what we don't need is other outside experts, again, trying to tell teachers as if they aren't professionals with experience what should be happening in their classroom.
Public elementary teachers want to do away with EQAO, a test their union says hasn't lived up to its goal.
Which was to close achievement gaps identified through the tests, where funds are directed to communities and to locations where extra supports are needed.
Calandra had planned to make a decision on whether or not to do away with trustees by the end of this year. Now he says no announcement will be made until 2026. He's still reviewing constitutional requirements for education in the Catholic and French systems.
But nothing has changed my mind right now that trustees are in any way the best way to deliver a $43 billion educational system.
At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Leaders with Ontario's conservation authorities are protesting the provincial government's plans to reduce their numbers from 36 down to just 7. With more on that plan and what it means in southwestern Ontario, here's Jeff Pickle.
From camping to trail maintenance, environmental protection, and flood management, the Grand River Conservation Authority does a lot and covers a lot of area, from Dundalk to Lake Erie. Ontario Bill 68 would collapse 36 conservation authorities down to just 7 and put the GRCA into the largest network, over 350 kilometers end to end.
The area for the Lake Erie one is huge, all the way down to Windsor from up north. And so that's quite a culture shock. It's 81 municipalities.
The province says the new approach will bring central leadership, efficiency, and better direction and oversight.
So the goal, I think, is to stabilize conservation authorities across Ontario. Some of them don't have the finances to fund the experts.
North Dumfries Mayor Sue Foxton says she agrees some change is needed, but has concerns.
When they kept asking us the questions of, well, how would you do it? I kept thinking they don't have a really good plan.
She says the new area is too big and could jeopardize local knowledge and expertise.
Bring in the ones that are struggling into the GOCA, or let's find a way that we can share our professionals with them to help bring them up to the level that we all need to be at.
Board Trustee Pan Wolf of Cambridge is more critical.
I guess my primary concern is the lack of local autonomy, and that we're seeing more and more with the province.
Wolf is concerned an emphasis on efficiency comes at the cost of safety.
A little distrustful of words like streamlining processes. What does that mean? You know, sometimes we have the process and we have things for a reason, and often it's safety.
The GRCA board meets again to discuss this issue and any developments on December 12th. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Kitchener.
A special night at Canada Life Place as the London Knights hosted the Kitchener Rangers for their annual teddy bear toss.
Chance for Funk, shoots, he scores! Rain him down, London!
Knights fan club members had secured roughly 6,000 teddy bears beforehand, and the announced total from tonight, as announced on the Knights broadcast, was more than 20,000, beating the OHL record London set last year of 16,000.
O'Reilly in behind his own net. Chance front of the net. They score. Arquette went short side.
Turned out to be a wild second period after that. There were 6 goals total, with the Knights leading 3-2 at one point, but that Rangers goal there ended up the winner. Final score, Rangers 4, Knights 3. Knights are back at it Friday night when they host the Windsor Spitfires again at Canada Life Place. Still to come, on to the Olympics. A London curler, the first from our city to secure a spot competing at the upcoming Winter Games in Italy. Canada's main stock index was up today as the energy and base metal sectors rose. The TSX gained 111 points in New York. The Dow added 408. The Nasdaq up 40. Canadian dollar gained 1/5 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold is up almost $12 an ounce, and oil added 31 cents a barrel. Air Transit pilots have voted almost unanimously in favor of strike action. That means flight cancellations could be on the horizon just as the holiday travel season ramps up. Annie Bergeron-Oliver reports.
In exactly 1 week's time, Air Transat could be forced to start grounding flights, as its roughly 700 unionized pilots will be in a position to strike.
A December strike will be catastrophic because capacity is already saturated. Other airlines like Air Canada and WestJet are flying full plane for the holidays.
The threat during the busiest travel time of the year comes nearly a year after talks between the union and airline began. The pilots want pay raises and better job security and say they're tired of working under a contract signed 10 years ago. In a statement, the union says, "Let us be clear, we do not want to strike. However, after nearly a year of slow bargaining and little progress, we urge management to utilize the remaining time and negotiate seriously to avoid operational and flight disruptions."
If anyone knows labor negotiations, I do, and I know that there's a pattern here, and we obviously hope they get a deal.
The airline is confident a deal can be found, saying in a statement, "Although this is a common step in the collective bargaining process and does not mean that a strike will be initiated, we remain fully committed at the bargaining table and aim to reach a tentative agreement without labor dispute." Aviation analysts say the prospect of a Christmas slowdown puts pressure on a company already facing financial troubles.
I don't think Transat's in a position right now of being able to accept a financially disruptive
situation like a strike, so they will settle.
Air Transat says its operations are currently running as normal. Either side must give 72 hours notice of a strike or a lockout. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Good evening, I'm Rita Ismail. We are tracking a system that is moving out of southwestern Ontario and leaving behind some strong, gusty northwesterly winds. That means those lake effect snowmaking machines will be in full gear for your Thursday, and our temperature, it is dropping to bitterly cold temperatures. I will break down the forecast for you coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Time for a look at the forecast, and for that, here's Rita Ismail.
Our temperatures are dropping as we head into the night. We had a clipper push through earlier today, and in behind it, a cold Arctic air mass starting to filter over southwestern Ontario. The winds will kick up for your Thursday morning, and of course, that means some lake effect flurries. Here's how that plays out. So as we move in through the night, we are seeing the last bit of snow associated with that weak low pressure system starting to push out, and you could really see those streamers setting up overnight tonight, especially throughout Grey and Bruce County. And then down in London, there's one particular line that we are sort of going to be concerned about as it shifts. It could cause some whiteout conditions on the roads early in the morning during your commute. Now, throughout Grey and Bruce and further near Owen Sound, you are seeing a snow squall possibly set up, and as a result, Environment Canada has issued a watch that is in effect. By about 7 tomorrow, though, we should start to see the winds ease, and that is good news. That means we will have a break from the flurries and the snow until later this weekend. But the air mass that is settling in for the next 48 hours will be the coldest of the season so far. We're looking at temperatures that will feel like midwinter right across the board. Now in Windsor, we'll be under mostly sunny conditions to a mix of sun and cloud on Thursday, not really being impacted a lot by way of the lake effect snowfall. So a cold start to your day for Thursday, -9, feeling close to -14 with the wind chill. And again, the winds will be fairly gusty throughout London. We're looking at winds gusting upwards of 60 kilometers per hour out of the northwest. That means the chance of flurries is there for your Thursday. A bit of a break late day Thursday into Friday, but Friday will be cold, -4, feeling like -14 with the wind chill. Scattered flurries possible for Saturday, mostly cloudy on Sunday, and a nice mix of sun and cloud on Monday, and then we are expecting to warm back up to near seasonal values a week from today, but with that will come some mixed precipitation. Midwestern Ontario, again, that chance for some flurries and snow squalls to set up tomorrow is high. We are expecting a cold air mass throughout the region and strong gusty winds. Friday, nice mix of sun and cloud for most of the day before flurries set up again late day Friday into Saturday, and then mostly cloudy conditions Sunday, but again bitterly cold at -4. The temperature is really struggling the next 7 days. And of course in Windsor at the 1 degree mark, but that wind chill will be felt throughout Windsor, Essex as well. It'll be windy, and then into Friday we could see those early morning flurries setting up. Saturday, nice mix of sun and cloud, but cold, -13 first thing Saturday morning. Flurries returning on Sunday, and then it will improve in terms of sunshine Monday and Tuesday before a mixed bag of weather arrives on Wednesday.
Thanks very much, Rita. A new survey out of Quebec suggests tipping fatigue is getting worse. It's gotten to a point a consumer advocacy group is calling for tighter controls when it comes to gratuities. Matt Gilmore reports.
It's a custom Canadians are used to, leaving 15 to 20% at bars, restaurants, and for delivery drivers. But in recent years, consumers have noticed the expectation to tip is expanding.
Once in a while encounter a place that has tipping that you're not really expecting it, like a dry cleaner, something like that, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of paying for the service. Why do I need to tip on top of it?
Consumer advocacy group Option Consommateur found tips are now being solicited at all types of businesses.
Des boulangeries, des chocolateries, des commerces de détail, des professionnels, des mécaniciens.
Lawyer Alexandre Plourde says a recent survey suggests Quebecers are growing frustrated and don't like the tactics sometimes being used to squeeze more out of customers.
When you go to pay, it's already set up for certain percentages, and it kind of makes it a bit weird if you don't tap on it.
They have 15% good. You ever seen that one? 18 better and, really good. They're giving a value to the tip. That's a tough one too,
In May, Quebec banned that sort of practice. And now tips have to be calculated based on pre-tax totals. Plourde calls that a good first step.
Et on propose aussi d'encadrer les types de commerçants qui peuvent solliciter du pourboire.
He wants to limit the types of businesses that can ask for tips. And he says a 15% option should be mandatory.
Ce qui correspond à la norme sociale.
For people who rely on tips, like Jess Gagne, it's a tricky subject.
Tipping culture, what sucks about it, really, is that the workers are just not getting paid a fair wage. And then it falls back on the consumer.
She says it puts everyone in a tough spot.
It should be like a nice extra thing, whereas it kind of feels like an obligation right now.
But not everybody feels the pressure.
I mean, I feel like I've never been forced to tip, so it's fine.
And none of the people we spoke to today want the servers to pay the price. But for many, it feels like tipping culture has gone too far. Matt Gilmore, CTV News.
Finally tonight, London has its first Olympian qualified for the upcoming Winter Games. Curler Sarah Wilkes will represent Canada in Italy come February. With her story, here's Brent Lale.
Please give a big round of applause for Team Holman, who will be representing our country at the Olympic Games in Italy.
It feels amazing just for all the hard work that we've put in over the past 4 years with this team in particular to pay off.
Back in London with gold around her neck, Sarah Wilkes is still processing that she's an Olympian.
We got this a couple days ago. It kind of made it feel a little less surreal, a little more real now that it's happening. We won. I remember I don't know, I was in grade 6 or something. I had the chicken pox. So, and I was home during the whole Olympics. So I got to watch all the Winter Olympics. And that was kind of a moment where it's like, hey, I want to do that.
Team Holman, with Wilkes as the lead, won the Canadian curling trials this weekend and earned their ticket to Italy. Back at the Highland Curling Club, the support for one of their own has been amazing.
A good example of that is at the trials. We probably had 40 or 50 of our own members travel out to Halifax to take in the trials and watch it real. So that's a good example of what's going to come for the Olympics.
Ranked number 1 in the world, Team Holman will be the favorite on paper. The competition will be difficult, and the ice conditions at international events always play a big factor. Until then, Wilkes and her teammates will head to their respective homes of Ottawa, Sudbury, and Edmonton to get some much-needed downtime.
We have 65 days or something until we leave, so definitely take a moment right now, enjoy it, recover, but then get right back to our training and preparing for the Olympic Games.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.